We ready? We rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Yeah, we've been rolling.
Hello, I'm Jake Davis, host and dungeon master for Just Roll With It. Our adventure begins in an inn, like so many adventures, with a small group of travelers meeting each other for the first time. The town in which they stay has been under attack. A large group of creatures have been encroaching on the town's perimeter. The Duke, in a state of distress, asks the travelers to go to a nearby town to enlist the services of a larger military force. The travelers, upon arriving in the town, are wrongfully accused of unlawful magical acts. They are put into prison, where they are forced to undergo certain acts which are disagreeing to them. After escaping and burning down the prison and nearly the entire town, they're all on the run.
Let's just jump it.
I don't care. We're gonna cut all this out.
Jump.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry about it.
Several serious crimes were committed.
That's good.
Let's do it.
So, you guys are outside of the city of Jasha, along the road, the low road running northwest away from the city and further into the free province of Manzarin. You are fugitives, you are outside of the law, and you are being hunted. What do you want to do?
Do they have our descriptions and what we look like?
Do they have our sense?
You've run into a couple sets of people actively out looking for you.
Do they
over the last
know
about week?
Do they know what I look like? Because I was going to the temple.
Yes.
Do they know what I look like?
You were arrested, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yes.
arrested. I wasn't arrested.
I'll save our whole party description. Okay, understood.
Honestly, I don't even know what all you guys look like, so I'm lost. already.
Where are we?
We're on the road.
To where I just said.
We're on the road.
You're on the road.
What type of road? Is there a forest?
Yeah, there's a forest on your right, and the same large cliffs go off to on your left.
Well, we move slower by the forest, but there's a lot more cover. It's also more dangerous.
Are we like
which
camping out in
is
the
cool.
forest?
Sorry?
Are we camping out in the forest?
Probably.
Okay.
Nice.
Movement thinks we should find shelter.
I mean, is it daytime? Are we in daytime right now?
It's currently daytime, yeah. It's about noon.
Uglan, I don't know why you always want to stop at midday, take a little siesta. We don't have time for this.
We are being hunted.
Yes, so that's why we should enjoy the finer things and, walk during the day.
Like
sleep
the
during
ocean!
The night.
We should go to the ocean!
We're not. That's always we're in the
I'm
center of the
saying.
country. We're in the center. I assume we're in this. Does anyone
The
have a
ocean
map?
is off those cliffs on your left.
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
That could be a sea. We don't know. Maybe not an ocean.
Let's just go down to the water, pray a little
On the
bit.
cliffs? By the cliffs?
No, scale the cliffs.
Scale the cliffs. Yes, kind of like a come no homes. Let's go down.
I would be okay with the nap.
We need to get out of here.
If we're gonna take a nap, we certainly shouldn't do it in the road.
I agree with Dixon.
I'm going to put on my fancy clothes because my mother used to tell me if you don't value yourself on the outside, you can't value yourself on the inside. So I change into my court clothes.
Okay. Okay, so you guys move off to the road into the Shamari Timberland, which has been consistently on your right this whole time. Making your way sort of into the sort of hills and rock that cover the forest floor of the Timberland. It would be a relatively good place to hide. There's a lot of large rocks, lots of places that are a little bit harder to see when you're looking into the forest from the road.
I change back out of my courtly clothes and into my regular clothes as I have noticed that I'm getting sweaty and dirty.
Okay. It takes about 5 minutes for you to fully change clothes.
But
Because-
damn, did I look good before?
You do have to take off your armor to
Yes.
change clothes.
Yeah, I went through
Okay.
the whole rigmarole, like a. And I put like on a tree limb and was like very dainty about it.
Okay.
So.
I want to look around and try to find a good spot to hide in.
Okay.
And does he see me naked when he's looking around?
Yes.
Do you have small clothes?
Pow!
also?
Put some
I do.
clothes on.
They're fancy.
Fancy
well,
small
actually,
clothes.
they're just a little less silk.
You just changed into those clothes.
And now I'm changing out of them. You know nothing of culture.
You come. It's a scene, sort of like when a guy sees like a nymph bathing in like a movie or something like that, and he's like
Yeah.
just throwing stuff over
Yeah.
trees and.
Yeah. I mean, I do have performance, and I do everything as a performance.
It looks real good.
Did I like it?
I mean, it's up to you if you liked it or
respect
not. But it looks good.
Like you might not have.
I liked it a little bit, but I'm not gonna
You
make
can
that
appreciate
clear.
the effort he's
Yeah,
putting
you
into
might
it.
not
Yeah.
have liked it, but you probably respected it.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
You also notice something a little strange as you're looking around, sort of trying to find a good place to camp. You notice there's tracks and the footfalls of creatures of some kind that don't look like they're normally here. Like they look very out of place. There's a lot of like twigs and things that are kind of crushed and patted down, something that isn't true for most of the area.
I call Ixon over. Ixon,
Yes.
look at these tracks. What do you make of these?
Well, I check out the tracks.
They don't look like they belong.
They look like they belong to you.
I,
You can barely see them.
I'm not exactly sure.
Hold on,
what
I'm the
talking
druid
about.
here. Why are we asking me?
The druid, he was
So I was
responsible
right
for
behind
feeding
you.
us
I
when
thought
we were
for
trapped.
sure. I thought for
I didn't
sure
see you
asked-
there.
Okay.
What are you-
I'm
oh,
gonna pretend
sorry,
that
I'm
you
sorry.
Didn't say that, you asshole. Okay. Well,
I'm good with nature, so can I like check out those tracks?
You take a look and you can tell even less. You don't know anything about these creatures.
all right, guys. You know what? I thought that I knew what I was talking about, but I do not know what I'm talking
Well,
about.
maybe there's nothing to
All
talk about.
right, all
I-
right. Step
I'm
aside.
very worried
Step
about these tracks.
aside. I'll take a look.
This looks to you like orc tracks, like an orc war party came through here.
These are clearly orc tracks, and as I say that, I look down and I slowly look over to Ixon.
What are they, boy tracks or girl tracks?
I think like there's a lot of heavy weight on the back foot, but then it's a very narrow front area. So like I don't. It's like maybe if. Can you walk for me? Can you Ixon?
So I'm supposed to know what
Yeah.
orc tracks.
Yeah,
look
just
like.
just.
Ixon, can you sway your hips a little bit?
Yeah, are you? Hold on now. Are you half orc? What were you again? Can I ask that? Is that okay? Can I ask that?
I mean, we've shared quite a bit. I've shown you the head of my
That's
former
true.
slave
That's
master.
true. I still dream about it.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
No.
You know. So guys, can we just? I want to huddle up for a second and be like, look, I don't know. Have you watched him or her go to the bathroom? Because like, do we know for sure? Like,
I don't want to know.
how are they?
I don't
How
wanna
is he
know.
avoiding?
I
you?
live with this guy.
care.
I
I
live
don't
with
care.
this guy
How-
slash girlfriend.
Wait, hold on. What is your preferred personal pronoun?
They.
Okay, that's very good.
This is exactly what it was like when I lived with this he slash she orc on an island for a whole year.
Wait, isn't this the same person?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's a boy or girl still.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna see if I believe that he's lying about the orc tracks.
Okay. He's definitely telling the truth, or at least thinks he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
If these are orc tracks, we're in danger. No
Are we?
offense.
I mean, there's an orc there. He
None
seems. She
taken.
seems like a nice.
They are only half
They
orc.
seem like. Wait, they're half orc.
They half orc.
What's the other half?
I told you I don't know.
Can we? Look
I've
at
never
it
met
as-
my
Can we
parents
tell? Can we
before.
tell?
Yeah. Is anyone good with medicine?
Nope.
No, no one knows anything about medicine.
I'm the one that's good at medicine.
I'm gonna do it.
So you want to know?
It's irrelevant.
I'm going to check.
Okay.
I'm going to check them out. Yeah.
What are you doing? Get away from me.
Definitely what's common in half orc, half human
You know what?
features.
I actually don't have any orc in me. Nope, I don't.
Wait,
Don't
pal,
have any.
go stand over next to him and let's compare your facial features and see.
Oh, why? Just because I'm mostly human?
Completely human.
I'm mostly human. We don't. You know, Ixon and I don't need to be labeled. We don't need to be put into this box about what someone is and what someone isn't. I stand with him. I actually do stand next to him. I stand with they.
I think we should follow these tracks.
Yeah, all right.
Get them before they get us.
I will go alone.
What?
Just let me check.
He's gonna go
That
pee,
sounds-
guys. He's gonna go pee again. This is what we should follow him.
Wait, I'm going to use prestidigitation, and I'm going to put a symbol on my loot that says PAL in really fancy, like glow in the dark handwriting.
Okay.
What?
Why are you doing that right now?
Because it's just like it sparkles in the sun, it glows in the night. It's been a while since I've treated myself.
It's very pretty, pal. I'm going to go scout out these tracks, see what I can find.
I'm gonna whisper over to them, like, do you guys trust this?
Yeah, I
Do I trust
it.
Ixon
I
or
trust
those tracks?
Ixon. I trust
Ixon.
Ixon.
Going getting all cozy with his
No, I
own
think we should.
race.
I do trust him, but I think we
I
should
feel
go
like
with him.
you send in an orc to talk to an orc. That's not racist. That's just good sense. Like you have to deal with them on their level.
I'm also the sneakiest. Actually,
Sneak off.
let's go together.
Oh yes, we should send in the Hobbit. Let's do
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure that
Okay, I'm okay.
it. Wait, we don't even know where they. Why don't we
Wait,
all
wait,
just go together?
why
Why don't we all?
Yeah,
we
why,
don't even know.
why are we splitting up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like a
camp setup,
horrible
yeah.
idea.
What are we
You
gonna
know
do
what?
back
Let's
at
all
camp?
go together.
Okay, yeah,
Let's all
right.
go together.
Can we tell which way the tracks are going?
Yeah, after you spend some time actually looking at them and kind of studying them a bit more, it's very obvious that they're... I mean, it's a orc war party.
Now,
they're not
these-
exactly subtle.
Now these tracks look like they came from Ixon when he walked up to the tracks, and these look like orc tracks. Now these tracks also look like orc tracks, but there's about like 12 Ixons, I imagine. I'm just guessing, like 12 to know more, less Ixons.
Can I look at Ixon's actual tracks versus the orcs and see how different they are?
Very different.
Yeah, as I was saying, so these tracks. Let's just do it. Let's just
follow
see,
the
let's just
tracks.
see
what happens.
All right, are you guys going to try to be quiet and stealthy?
I am
Who's
going
the least
to.
sneaky?
I
Who's the least
I will
Pal.
be going forward.
Pal, for
And I will
sure.
be leading us in a jaunty traveling tune.
I have
Pal,
expertise in
I think we need to go back to the
stealth,
original
so-
plan where we stay behind, because Pal is just gonna immediately start singing and attract all the orcs to
Can
us.
I try to bless him and make him more sneaky than he normally would have been?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bless you.
Thank you. And I will bless you in return. You,
You still have that pouch of pro beats.
although although you are small, hold a big place in my heart. Have a bead.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's from the god Palnor.
Thanks. I put it in my pocket.
Okay. Yeah, actually, like, hold on. Can I see that bead again? And I take the bead out and I use prestidigitation on it so it also glows. I
Okay.
put it back in his pocket.
So your loot stops glowing.
Oh, I can only prestidigitation one thing?
Yeah.
That was a cantrip. I can do
But it's concentration, so you have to...
Are you not able
Keep focused on one thing at a time.
Thaumaturgy that has 3.
Yeah.
Can you keep up the 3?
Shame. Okay, yeah, I don't, doesn't matter. He's worth it.
Okay.
Well, as soon as it goes in my pocket, you can
Yeah.
make it go back to you.
That's true. That's
I believe it
fine.
only lasts for a minute,
Yeah.
anyway.
So I start heading down the trail,
Okay.
playing a jaunty tune.
So you're not sneaking.
It's just more just like a good traveling, like.
Okay, but you're not sneaking.
No, I'm not sneaking. I'm not. I don't sneak around. Paladronilla doesn't run from anyone.
I'm gonna sneak behind him, like through the bushes, like while he's like walking along jaunty, and I am gonna be sneaky.
Okay.
And I'm playing like the music from the 1960s, Little John and Robin Hood, like Little John and Robin Hood are running through the forest. It's like
I have to say.
Are you done?
I'm just walking way far behind them because
and that's like
Not trying to sneak, but staying back.
yeah.
Okay, you guys.
Just walking with them behind me.
Before I go into the bushes, I'll be
on
like,
point.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself and make myself look like an orc.
You're gonna be a pretty tiny orc.
like an orc that was
I
cut in half.
can. It makes
Half
it
orc.
me size. It just if I like interact with things, it looks really weird.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that and be like, guys, it's just me. Don't attack me if you see me.
Hey,
Wait, what if we both got underneath like some sort of costume and like we were like one big orc? You're like the face.
Oh, can you get on my shoulders and?
I walk you in like you're on my shoulders. I think
You just
because you're the face.
No, well, I
You
don't
can't
think I would
disguise
fit
me.
on your shoulders.
I turn around and go, oh, it's a costume party, and I want to disguise myself as an orc bard.
Okay.
So yes, I do that.
Okay. Your
So-
lute suddenly turns into this large, like, box organ that you can carry
nice.
around.
And I change because I know all the music. I change the style of music to like a good like war dirge.
Okay. One war dirge. Alright.
I improve the war dirge.
I'm gonna have like a red feather hanging somewhere just so everybody knows. Don't attack the person.
Wait, so
with the red
are we
feather.
are we one person right now or
I'm
no?
looking at it.
I'm the only one that's not an orc disguise.
No, I'm not either. Apparently.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Oh, I can see
Well,
one
you
foot
need
now.
Pretty something.
Yeah.
One foot. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so I'm gonna make myself look like an orc child.
Okay.
So after I found out that
Yeah,
like
so-
our dual costume doesn't work, I like just.
Should we be their prisoners? Do one of those things?
Yeah, I think,
Do you have
yeah, I mean, of course, we would never actually be the prisoners, but that's a pretty good idea. Like, I'm down with that.
I'll tie these ropes in loose knots around our arms,
Okay.
and then we can just slip out.
Oh, perfect. You know what you're doing with knots, right?
Yeah. Here, let me get yours.
Okay, oh, thank you.
It feels.
You can get your own knot?
It feels pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours does too.
Oh, you know what you're doing, right? Like, when the time comes...
It needs to be
like,
realistic.
Are you too sure that's a good idea?
Yes, here, take it. Take it.
Guys, I'm just an orc child.
And
Damn.
and if I'm anything in the war party, I'm a scout, and I wouldn't be bringing back prisoners.
God damn it. Why are we tying up right now?
Alright, I'll untie us.
Okay.
Good.
You're having some trouble. You can't quite.
Are we walking along the path at this
yeah,
moment?
yeah,
Okay.
you guys are just
Doing all
walking.
of this.
All right, I'm
Cut me
gonna
free.
whip out like a marlin spike or something and
Okay.
loosen the knot.
Oh, get me too.
All right, I loosen your knot.
Oh, thanks for loosening
Those
my
were-
knot.
Good nuts.
Well, actually, as you pull apart, like to try to, so we can wedge the spike in, it just kind of falls off.
Oh, you know, I wasn't even trying before. Wow. I don't know if those were knots.
Okay, so nobody's sneaking.
I am
I'm
sneaking.
sneaking.
Yes.
I'm sneaking.
I see them sneaking, and then I start sneaking.
as a goblin. child.
I'm still just like playing my war dirge.
Can I not turn
Being
into an
very-
animal
I
yet?
just realized
very
we have a
aggressive.
priest of
Can you
mass
not?
and
No, you have to wait till I
two
think you join your circle.
Who's the other?
Damn it.
This is level 3, your wizard room, right? I was gonna be a rogue wizard.
Okay, so you guys you move along.
I didn't do that.
The three of you kind of off to the side in the sort of more out of the way from the path. Everyone else sort of walking along. It's not a road, but it is sort of a formed path that you can see.
Yeah, you can do like a wolf.
Oh, wait, can I turn into a wolf right now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're a
yeah.
druid.
Okay.
Ah, look,
I'm like deforming myself. Like,
Look, check this out, everybody. It never gets old.
Roll
It's like he's like little poodle.
Can I talk as a wolf or like? Am I like?
Poodle.
No.
It's a little cute poodle. It's
You
like
wanna
a
check
little,
that for me?
Like a labradoodle looking thing.
I don't know if I can talk.
You look like a normal sized wolf, though. I think you can understand
Oh,
common. I don't think you can speak.
okay. I just kind of growl at Al a little bit.
But his growls, instead of being like horror, it's like
No. I control my character.
Okay. So as you're moving along this sort of maybe makeshift path that has been formed by a war party walking through what is becoming clear probably multiple times. They've been back and forth the same way a few times. And as you move along it, you eventually hear the sounds as the sun is a little bit further in the sky. It's probably been about an hour. You can sort of hear the loud, boisterous sounds of orcs eating and drinking and talking to each other in orc.
I'm gonna sneak close enough to try to eavesdrop, see if I can pick up on any conversations about why they're there, and especially if they've taken prisoners.
Okay.
I'm going to keep on just like walking straight into their camp, playing my badass orc music.
Okay.
Every time.
All right. So you guys make your way closer towards the sound of the camp.
I'm gonna ready a dart in case things get ugly from a bush.
Okay.
Yeah, but a little child.
So you guys are on the
I want
outside.
to sneak
Just so I can
behind him.
move around the camp unseen.
You're gonna growl. Yeah, I'm just gonna like sit down and just watch.
Just at like outside of
Yeah,
outside
just
the
kind of
clearing?
like watching, kind of making sure when the move it.
So all they see is an orc, his wolf, and his child.
No, I'm in the bushes.
Yeah, he's
Oh, he's a bush. An orc and his wolf.
Oh,
so
we
yeah,
don't
no,
walking
you-
in together.
Yeah.
I'm walking in with.
Okay. So yeah, you walk in. Your war drudge. What is it?
Dirge.
Dirge.
Yeah.
Playing.
War drudge.
And as soon as they pick up on the sound, they do. It seemed the whole group seems to go quiet, and they look towards that direction. And you kind of come out through the woods off the path and into a large clearing that looks like there's a very large fire pit built, probably a 8-foot by 8-foot massive fire pit built with 3 large, looks like multiple of them sleep in each of these tents at a time, but three large tents. And then you see, it's kind of hard to make it out, but there is these wooden semi-makeshift cages out on the other side of the clearing from you. You can't quite make out what is in it, but there is something inside of it. They're kind of covered in branches and leaves and things like that.
I really, as soon as I have all their attention, I really want to up my performance to
Okay.
capture their awe.
Okay, well, it's not great. And you are playing a lute and disguising it as a different instrument, so it's a little weird. It sounds incorrect on some levels. It's
But do
still
they like
good.
It? Do they like it?
Um,
Do they really have a refined palate, though?
Orcs are, yes, they're very picky about their music. They're intellectuals.
So even I'm kind of embarrassed. I just
Wait,
kinda
hold
walk
on,
away
hold
from
on,
you.
hold on. No, you can't tell. It's still good. It's still good.
It's
No,
it's
I'm walking away from you for sure.
okay.
I want to walk towards those cages actually.
It's through the camp or around.
Through the camp.
Okay.
Oh God, what am I doing?
All right, so you walk in as you approach these this large group of what you can tell now is about 14 orcs that all have this sort of thick hide and leather armor, sort of placed haphazardly on their bodies. It's not exactly made to cover their entire body, but it is there, and they all have these large, crude metal weapons or clubs of some kind, and they stand and ready them as you approach.
Oh God, I kind of like look up at them with like very much like puppy dog eyes.
Okay. One of them just sort of looks right back down into your eyes and just.
I want to say, I'm like,
Alcan, heal.
Fuck. I like backstep back towards Pal.
Yeah, but like in a really like cool like Michael.
Yeah, kind of like a moonbox.
like a Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
This is a war party camp. What are you doing here?
Are they speaking in common?
They're speaking Orcish, but that is what.
And I just stare at them. I like give them a cold stare for a few seconds, enough that's like a little heavy.
Okay.
And then I say, I only speak in common in front of my dog. Like I knew it. I knew what he said.
Okay.
But I gave it enough seconds just to let it sit.
I start taking a shit next to you.
Yeah. And I say, it seems like he doesn't think much of your war party.
And I'm like scattering, I'm trying to bury it or whatever. But
Did you steal him from a human place?
Yes, just recently.
Fine.
He starts speaking common, and sort of nods.
So, what can we do for you?
My name is Pallid Marken. Perhaps you've heard of me.
No, I haven't.
You can call me Pal. Lamarkin is his full name because he earned the right. I'm here because I came across your tracks, and I knew that one thing every party needs is the music to strike fear into the heart of your enemies. The sound of war coming for your victims.
One from a little bit further back kind of just raises his hand and he goes,
I do the war music here.
he pulls out a little pair of drums,
Yeah,
it's like twin set bongos.
and I say, not anymore, you don't.
and I bark at him.
And I want to
Okay.
use
Intimidation?
intimidation. Yeah.
Okay. He sort of just looks, tilts his head.
I don't think so.
And then I say, not anymore, you don't. And I use persuasion.
Can I use thaumaturgy to make like a thunder rumble in the distance to as a helping action?
Sure. 2 is persuasion.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I guess I'll just gather my things.
No,
What?
my friend. We will be an ensemble.
What's that?
We will raid together. And rave together.
What's raving?
It's raiding, but with music.
Oh yeah!
They all sort of start getting up and picking up their drinks and taking big chugs of their drinks.
Yeah, get crunk, everybody.
Join us, won't you?
I will, thank you. And what is your name?
Talek.
Talik. Well met.
Okay.
Yeah.
The guy you were talking to originally pushes past the music guy, Talek, and says,
I'm the leader of this party, Throgar.
Rogar.
"Thank you."
It's good name. You know, I had a second uncle whose name was Throgar. Stand up orc. Like, he couldn't sit down. He had braces on his legs. But,
He kind of walks closer to you as you're speaking to him, just sort of out of normal orc social behavior.
Mhm.
But as he gets close, he
You smell clean.
no doubt I do. I went to a brothel recently. And, let's just say...
A human brothel?
Well, you take your chances whenever you can. You stick 'em, and then you stick 'em, if you know what I mean.
Can I hear?
yeah, you can hear.
Okay.
Orcs are
I'm
pretty
looking
loud.
over next and I'm like, he's He's losing it.
He's in over
He's
his head.
losing
He's
it.
in over his head, but they're not.
How many are there?
We have an
That you can
opportunity to scout the place while he's distracted.
So yeah,
I want
what
to
is-
use charm person on him, on the leader.
Okay. Okay. He sort of nods and says,
Makes sense.
You and I aren't so different. I'm here to make you great.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you plan to do for us?
I plan on luring people to you, so you don't even have to go out and find them.
Oh, but I love burning down towns.
I plan on gathering even more people for you into one location, so there's more victims for the raid.
"It sounds like a movie, like a movie trailer for you." All right. So what is everyone else doing at this point?
Okay,
But he's on board. He's was it Roar? What was his name?
Thrallgar.
Thrallgar is on board.
so we're taking advantage of this distraction,
Yeah, they're pretty much all looking at him. You don't see any orcs that aren't
and
looking that direction.
Do they have a looks like a place where they keep their loot?
Actually, can
I
I
mean-
keep on talking to Thrallgar?
Huh?
Can I keep on talking to Thrallgar?
Well, yeah, but let's let other people play
Oh.
D&D.
Well, right. Sorry, I was just because now that like we're pals, I hope he's
Yeah.
telling me some stuff.
You don't see anything just sort of laying on the ground. You can assume they're probably in the tents, if there is anything like that.
Okay.
probably the tent with like the most spikes on it.
Yeah, is there a tent with the most spikes on it?
Yeah, there's a tent like painted with streaks of blood and covered in spikes, and there's wooden spiked logs holding it up.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of gonna sneak through that tent.
Okay. So you are feeling a little weird because your head is about a foot taller than where it should be, and then you're still seeing at the same level that you normally do, but for some reason your head is higher and it doesn't make much sense to your brain, and you stumble, and about half of the orcs that aren't currently involved in conversation turn and look at you. And they say in Orcish,
What are you doing out here, kid?
I look like really worried, and I just point at.
I say, oh, that's my second wife's spawn. A little runt follows me around, thinks he can get the family back together, and I pick up like a rock and just throw it, not like at him, but near him. Just,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, well, you throw it at him. Yeah, the rock hits you like in your actual head. Luckily, you keep your concentration fine though.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I said,
I make like
yeah.
I look over at you like, what the fuck? Like, why you fucking hit him in the head? You see this all in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, because we both speak Gnome, so I'm just like.
He can't speak right now. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't talk much.
Gnome has a soulful eye look.
Yeah, it's just it's all in the eyes.
It's true.
Half of Gnomish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Half
what
of
do you
Gnomish is
I'm looking for the worst looking tents.
The other two look pretty similar to each other.
Okay.
There's this one very obviously the main large tent where the leader probably sleeps and has all his stuff, and the other two are probably just bunk tents.
Why is it bad looking things?
I'm looking for prisoners.
Well, as you're passing around back one of the tents, you do see these large cages out behind, sort of out of the way,
That's what I'm looking for.
sort of covered in leaves, and you can't quite see. They're very dark inside them now, but you do see something alive in there.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak my way over to the cages and see what I find.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way over to these large sort of makeshift wooden cages. They're very well built. The orcs are used to building these cages just made out of random logs and things like that, but they're still look very makeshift, just like most orc construction.
Yeah.
And you kind of peek in, and as soon as you get close to the bars of the cage, a form sort of lashes out and grabs onto the bars and just goes, and it looks like a human, but this sort of feral look in its eyes, and this sort of it doesn't look like it's wearing clothes of any kind, if maybe just a loincloth or something, and growls and grabs onto the bars and starts shaking it and say.
I want to make a medicine check. Is this man sick? Does he have
it's still very hard to see inside of the cage and get a good look at him, but as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like there's anything immediately obviously wrong.
Okay.
He looks more beast than man. He's a lost cause. Just keep moving.
Is there more than one cage?
There's two, yeah, but they're both very large.
Okay.
They look like there's probably more than one thing in there.
Alright, I'm gonna move on to the next cage.
Alright, what are you doing?
So I just got hit by a rock.
You hit by a rock.
I'm gonna look super sad, and I'm gonna be,
Pops! And you just let him follow you around? Well, we can take care of him for you right now if you like.
Well, the night's still early. Why spoil the fun in the evening?
I like you.
I like you too, Thrall guy. And I go like a good amount, not too much, not too much. I say, what's your game? Murder, pillaging, slavery, rape?
We're a war party.
So all of the above. And I wanna high five.
Okay. He sort of awkwardly holds up his hand and takes it.
You've been spending too much time around humans.
Well, fair enough, but there's no meat quite.
Get that soap stench off of you.
All right, and I take some of Elkin's shit and rub it under my eyes like a I don't know what that is.
War mark.
Yeah,
Paint,
whatever
yeah,
that is.
paint,
War
paint.
paint. Yeah, war paint. And I say, you're not that far away from the city, though.
What city?
You haven't heard.
What?
What's the city?
You were traveling for like a week.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen patrols, not just a few days back. They're out searching for some notorious criminals. Some real good, nasty folks that it'd be an honor to meet. Heard about it from a guard I strangled with his own chestnuts. His last dying breath was, I'd rather it's you than them.
It's intense.
Okay.
But my point is, there's humans in this area searching out for trouble.
We'll keep an eye out. We appreciate the warning, though.
Look.
Throw the little one in the cages.
You're talking to him? He's like, alright, is the key just in the lock or can I get an escort?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
You see two of the
I mean,
other-
you were looking right at me, so it was very confusing.
You see two of the other orcs just walk up and attempt to grab you and drag you over.
Try to move away without them being able to touch me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna run towards.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
gonna run towards.
Okay, yeah, no, you fall on your ass.
Towards me.
Oh,
I just go, if he can't escape, he's not worth it.
And as they grab you, which was their attempt to grab you was by the hair.
nothing. It just goes over me.
What's this? What's happening?
And I'm gonna try to get up off my ass and run away.
Okay, so yeah, you start trying to sprint away, and you feel a large orc arm grab you by the shoulder and just lift you up.
Gosh darn it. Looks like the shit hit the fan.
Do we see this?
Can I run
Oh,
over there
okay.
in between them in the cage and just like stop, like just like look up at the orc and just like try my puppy dog eyes again, because that's all I got at this point.
You probably can do other things too.
I should read that book.
You're not used to running as a wolf, and you're very out of breath by the time you get there. And it's not like a cute dog panting. It's like what a person would do if they were a dog and panting. It looks horrible. There's drool flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Very not endearing.
What does it look like the man who's holding, or the orc who's holding me, and the rest of the group, like the party is doing, the orc party is doing?
They're kind of just standing around. They're a little confused by why he was like just not able to grab you at first, kind of looking this direction. But currently, it's only him right next to you, and then the other one that's a little bit closer. But the rest are,
I say,
further back by the fire.
Wait, Throgok.
What?
Can I try to take the hand of him? Can I like try to save him?
Yeah.
I say,
What do you want to do?
Throgok. Let me put him in the cage. I think maybe you should go.
I see all this happening.
Is he still
and
charmed?
I
Is he still charmed?
You don't know.
I look over and I'm just like, they need our help. And so I take my crowbar and I want to break open the cell door to the crazy guy.
Okay, yeah, it breaks open pretty easily. It is just wood. It was more of a latch than anything. It wasn't exactly
Can I break the other one also?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As soon as you break that first one, the cage door just flies open, and 10 of these humans. Some are wearing like loincloths, some are wearing just like torn up pants, but none of them have shirts, none of them have shoes or anything like that. They all look very ragged, very worn, like they've been left in this cage for a very long time. And they rush out into the clearing with the orcs in it, and they begin jumping on the orcs and biting at their necks and clawing at them the way an animal would.
That worked exactly how I thought it was gonna work.
Whenever I see them coming, can I go and touch the orc who's holding me's hand and cast inflict wounds?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a surprise attack too?
It is.
Ooh. I know things that happen.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, you touch him and you hear and you feel blood just splatter over your back as he falls down dead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to the bushes.
Okay.
Did you see that?
I believe that does break your disguise self though.
I think this guy's self isn't concentration.
Is it not? Okay.
No.
Wouldn't be very useful if it was.
Huh?
It wouldn't be very useful
That's
if
true.
it was.
Yeah, it doesn't have concentration.
Okay. All right. But yeah, he just falls over, and if you look back, there's this huge open gash, and it looks like his heart is torn apart.
And can I see this and I use it as an opportunity to like extract myself?
Well, also all of the orcs, including you, are being attacked by these humans.
Oh.
Let me do initiative real quick.
Oh. Thing is, I'm not going Arcane Trickster. Not. So if you still want to do that,
Right. That's what I was thinking.
because I'm doing Evocation and Assassination. Yeah. That's the like Fireball. It's your,
really?
It's your
yeah.
standard damage spells.
Ask me to be a trickster.
No, Arcane Trickster is fun as hell. I have someone playing one in the game I'm running.
There we go. All right. So yeah, up first to react to this it's going to be you two. So
What's up?
You guys are up first to react to what's going on, so you're
okay.
first. And then.
I'm gonna look in the second cage.
Okay. So the second cage, as the other humans had come rushing out, it looks like now these are like up against the bars, thinking maybe they can get out as well, and there looks like less than what came out of the other one.
Okay.
Fewer, but yeah, same thing. These feral sort of humans.
What is wrong with these humans? I don't know.
They're helping us.
I've seen magic do strange things to people.
Wait, you gonna release them?
Yes.
You want to try to break the cage open?
Yeah, I'm just gonna smash it open with my belaying pin.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, it breaks just as easily as the other one. And they come rushing out once again. And as they begin jumping on all of the orcs, the leader Thralgar turns, looking at his fellow orcs and them, and says,
The mindless ones are out! Kill them!
It's your go.
Alright, I take out my bow and I find just the closest orc and I fire at him.
Alright. Okay. Is it a longbow or a short bow?
It's a short bow.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so the arrow plants into his back and he falls down, and the human that was on him immediately gets up and starts rushing towards another one. Do you guys want to move closer at all? I'd still give you probably the rest of your move.
Yeah, I'm gonna move towards that command and control tent or whatever.
Okay.
Command and control orc tent.
And are you moving at all?
No, I mean I'm good.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so yeah, you go around the corner. It's pretty easily. You step into the tent. It's sort of decorated with sort of war trophies and things like that. Lots of loot around in it. Clothing, pelts, nicer things, silver, like chalices and candlesticks and things like that.
Okay.
A large, nice sort of like a bed, and then you take it and you stuff it with hay, kind of thing.
It's where I can start a fire.
Yes, it looks very flammable.
It's no. Hold on. We should loot this room before I set it on fire.
All right, and then the orcs all attempt to kind of scrape these humans off. Okay, so you see 5 of the orcs, they pull the humans like off their back or whatever, and then just like hack into them with axes, and immediately they just go limp as they're cut into with these large battle axes, basically just getting flung around like rag dolls by these much larger orcs. 4. There you go.
I'm gonna. So is there a orc that's like in the back of the group that looks a little bit injured at all, or?
None of them look too bad off at the moment, but there is the one that is a little bit closer to you. That was going to help take you to the cage.
Okay. I'm gonna ready a action to throw a dart at him. In case it looks like they start turning or looking for me or start attacking him. Basically, if they start attacking, I'm readying an action to throw a dart.
Okay.
In stealthy from the bushes.
Okay.
I'm being attacked right now.
Nope.
Oh, nice. I want to pull out my weapon, which still looks like an orc weapon.
Okay.
Imagine. It does. I don't have to imagine it. And,
well, you're sort of imagining it.
yeah, I am imagining.
That's kind of how it works.
But like,
seems to
I'm
be-
getting ready to attack. And I'm just like, is Throggark? But can I talk to Throggark still throughout this?
Yeah, he's right in front of you.
I'm like, Throggark, what's wrong with these humans?
They've been infected. We took them from a town a while back. They've caused us nothing but trouble. Without... So go ahead.
Sorry, no, it's my mistake.
No, please.
Okay, I'm like walking towards them, like I'm gonna kill it. I was like, so why didn't you just kill them?
We are going to take them back to the shaman of our tribe, see if they could find out what was wrong with them, just in case it was going to spread or something.
Are they just anti-orc? That seems a little racist to me.
Racist? I don't know. They seem like animals. Beasts.
Yeah. Do orcs eat people?
On occasion.
No, but not like.
No.
Okay. He's like, well, I'm gonna go find that boy. Be back in 2 ticks, and I want to go over to
Where you saw him before.
yeah, where I saw him.
Okay. All right.
Trying to avoid the crazy humans.
Okay. They seem to ignore you, as far as just like they are everyone else in the party. So okay, Wolfman.
Alright, so if I get out of my druid wolf form, is that going to take a whole turn?
Nope. It's I believe it's a bonus action.
Oh yeah, I did read that. I didn't know what that meant. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna I transform back. Yeah, I'm transforming out. Okay, I'm tired of being a wolf.
Dear God, what is that?
Boom, bitches! Here I am.
And then what I want to do is cast fog cloud.
Okay.
I said I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
And then I don't know, do you need to roll on this? Nope. Okay, and then I'm just gonna be like,
Fog clouds.
and then I do some sort of chakra, cool Naruto move on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, and the fog sort of puffs up around you and fills the area, mostly around the orcs. And
Okay, and then I say
Now you see me, now you don't.
Okay.
I want to say in gnome to him.
Yeah, but I can still hear you. Why is it that whenever you talk in gnome, you also change your accent? That's racist. No, I think it's just a dialect that you hear when I talk. No, it's not. I think it is. No. Yes.
You feel an axe, just cut your head off. Okay.
Well, there goes your cover.
All right. And then you see they didn't look like they were doing much damage to the orcs or anything before, as these feral humans had jumped on them. But now that they've been on them for a little bit, you see quite a few of the orcs go down as they just bite into throats and tear out, their teeth ripping out through what most of you know to be very strong orc hide. Orc skin itself is very tough. You're probably the only one who could even possibly bite through it under normal circumstances. But yeah, you see blood flying as the throats just kind of rip out.
But do they see it? Because there's a fog. There's fog all around.
There's red splats through inside of in the fog. Yeah. But yeah, a good handful of more of the orcs go down, and it's back to you two.
Well.
What can we see with the fog now?
Yeah.
Not much, but you can tell that a few of the orcs have gone down, and so have a few of the feral humans.
Can we see any in range or?
Yeah. You're not that far away at all. Cool. You're probably only about 20 feet away at this point, and you're still in the tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving the tent.
Okay.
There's nothing of immediate importance. In the tent.
So yeah, now you open the tent and fog rushes in slightly, and now your entire view of this area is obscured.
Does my dark vision do anything with that? I didn't think so.
That's fine.
It's
I don't have infrared vision.
Wind disperses.
right.
Wind disperses it.
Well then, I'm gonna try to get out of the fog.
Okay.
So turn left.
Okay. Make your way left, and you relatively quickly bump into Pal, as an orc, kind coming out, sort of rushing out of the battle towards where Marin was seen before.
You have shit on your face.
Thank you for noticing. I mean, I know. And I grab a leaf and I want to wipe it off.
Where did you get a leaf from?
Clean yourself.
Oh, I can use prestidigitation?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna use prestidigitation. I do like a snap and it just blasts.
It splats onto.
That's better.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I don't notice.
Yeah.
Yep, it's fair. At least half work.
Can I?
But yeah, no,
Oh,
and I'm like, I don't know, I was a pirate.
You threw shit at each other for fun.
Oh yeah, there was shit thrown all the time back in the.
Are we still in initiative action?
Yeah.
But are there any?
You can see
those
sort of
rabid humans in sight.
not that you can really see. You can
Okay.
see some of the larger shapes of the orcs through the fog. You can kind of make them out, but you can't really see the sort of paler and faster moving humans.
I just want to move past Pal and get out of the fog.
You're right on the
much as
edge
I
of the
can.
fog now.
Right on the edge of the fog. Basically, I'm just gonna keep circling around the fog till I see some.
You do see a dead one on the
Some
ground as you
Aw,
move past a little.
Okay. Do I see any healthy-looking orcs?
Hopefully, not from where you are now. They're pretty
Okay.
much all in the fog
Like,
right
do
now.
they have enough vitamins? Are they?
That fog is big. All right. Well, I'm gonna go examine that dead human.
Okay. Stop using that dice. Sorry. He's dead. Definitely dead. Well, maybe. Yeah, probably dead. That's your medical assumption.
Okay, that's a dead human. It's not like I can detect magic.
It is even harder to tell that something might be wrong with him now that it's dead. Okay, what do you do?
I take out my rapier and I stride into the fog,
Okay.
looking for anyone.
Wait first.
Just charging.
I do think it's funny that a dragonborn has a rapier. Because it's just like an elegant small sword.
I'm an elegant man.
It's like 9 feet tall.
Okay, so yeah, you charge and you feel it hit something and go through something.
Oh god.
And you stab all the way through something and you hear separate and
That was effective.
Always is.
as you pull it back out, a dead human falls at your feet and a dead orc on top of it, matching stab wounds through both of them.
That works.
Okay.
You want to make an omelet? Crack a few eggs.
You hear more sounds of battle and a few more. You see a limb of one of the humans go flying, as it sounds like they probably got ripped off by an orc. But you can't tell what's happening in the fog. And it's your turn.
Did I hear the orc whenever he said the mindless ones escaped?
Yep, everyone. It was pretty loud.
Okay.
Because we were shouting at each other.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check to see if I recognize that with a history check, like throughout history if it's a.
It is a term you've heard before.
Okay.
It's typically applied to like if a cult or of some kind like created thralls out of people. You don't know if the way he was talking about it, you did overhear him before. You might just assume that that's just what he's calling them at the moment. But you're not sure. But that is the term usually associated with mindless one.
And then I recognize it as something that mothers say to their children when they're like you just go to mummer's plate and you just become a mindless one, like when they're so engrossed in their
I mean, that's just what your mom called you all the time.
Yeah, like a mindless one. Yeah, so like I know it's this time's equivalent to being like zoned out watching TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your mom used to call you that all the time.
Okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense for a character.
As far as like the tides of battle going, can I see who's winning as far as the humans versus the orcs?
It's too hard to tell through the fog. You see blood and limbs going flying and screams of both orc and feral man.
Do I remember where the big tent was?
Yeah, you can see sort of the backside of the big tent.
Okay,
It's sort of
well
like
I'm
the
gonna
front
head
of it
towards
is-
that way and go in there.
You're pretty small. You could probably just pull it up and crawl
Okay,
under
yeah.
too.
So I do so.
Okay, yeah. So you're in the tent again. Just trophies and sort of a large, nice bed and various sort of things that he's obviously pillaged.
Yeah.
Over time.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast like detect magic. See if I can find anything like magical or
I
whatever.
really need to learn detect magic.
Okay. So yeah, you cast a spell and you get sort of the pull of a magical aura coming from a chest sort of in the corner.
Ooh, I'm gonna go to the chest.
Okay, so yeah, you pop it open. It wasn't locked, and sitting on the top of the chest is a very ornate and beautifully crafted what looks like a short sword. That is definitely giving off this magical aura, which you can't pinpoint what kind of magic at the moment. You'd have to spend more time
with it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna grab a cloth that I have in my pack pocket, and I'm gonna grab the sword with the cloth and
Okay.
put it in my inventory.
And you immediately recognize it as definitely ancient dwarven craftsmanship. So it's very, very old.
Okay.
All right. Pal.
I'm trying. I don't know. Anyway, do I notice that they're not attacking any of my party? They're just attacking me all.
I mean, the only of your party you've seen since the fog went up was Ixon.
Okay. I'm gonna climb a tree.
Okay.
There's trees.
There's tons of trees.
I'm gonna climb a tree just so I can be a little safe.
Okay.
Also, I have Jack of all. I don't know what Jack of all trades is. What does that do for me?
Basically, it gives you a lower bonus to all skills.
Ooh, nice.
So even the skills you're not trained in, you can still somewhat do.
Because I don't think I don't know if my thing reflects those. I don't know if my sheet reflects those.
No, it just basically you get like I believe it's half of your normal training bonus to everything that you're not trained in.
Okay, so I can do like anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna climb. Did I climb the tree?
No, it was too hard.
Oh, so I gave up because I don't like hard things either. I'm like I was like.
There's no low branches. They're all.
So I didn't even. I just like look up and it's like no.
Okay.
So, can I still see the dead orc? Because I'm over in his direction.
Yeah.
So can I still
You
see
see some dead orc sort of laying on the side out of the fog.
Alright. I'm gonna take like some blood and put it on me to make it look like I've been fighting too. Like wet my weapon in some blood.
Okay.
In case I need to keep this ruse going.
No, disguise self is a magical spell.
Oh.
So you really can just alter it to look like these things, and in fact, rubbing blood on something doesn't really do anything.
I'm going to still take a little bit of blood and put it. And I'm gonna stab the shit out of my eyes. I'm gonna put blood under my eyes, but then I'm gonna alter my appearance to make it look like I've been.
Okay.
But now I do have like instead of shit under my eyes, I have like blood.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm gonna take a whole face print and put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm still gonna like wander in this direction if I have any more other move actions.
Oh, sorry. What can I see?
You're currently in the midst of the fog. You can't see much. You can see about 3 feet in front of you.
Okay.
You can disperse it anytime you want. It will.
Nah.
Can you disperse it and immediately make it come back?
Sure. I don't know, but we'll go with yes.
You'd be like, poof, and you see like things are horrible and then immediately back.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So yeah, it poofs across and the battle sort of stops momentarily as suddenly everyone can see there's bodies on the ground torn up. There's orcs and humans both just ripped apart. There's
everyone,
blood
like,
and
looking at me?
intestines everywhere. Yeah, no, everyone's looking right at you. There's like one of the feral humans has these like organs hanging out of its mouth, and it's sitting over one of the orcs with its chest just torn open. It looks like it was actively eating out of it. And they're all just looking directly at you.
He told me there are.
Yeah, how many are there? Can I tell?
It looks like there's probably probably only about 4 orcs left alive, and none of them look uninjured. And then a good amount of the humans are still alive.
Uh-oh.
Okay, alright.
And then I do the fog cloud again. I like
Fog cloud!
and then I do like the Naruto move on the ground. And is that the end of my turn, or can I like? This is when I want to go the opposite way
Yeah, you
from
can.
where
Also, you can
most
still
of
move.
those are.
We'll say that's your action, so you can still move.
Okay, so I want to like backpedal a few steps, and then I'm like gonna straight up run towards like the farthest way from those things.
Okay.
Like wherever that.
All right. So you run through the fog, and eventually you burst out of the fog, and then run smack into the cage, the second cage that was not open. and the more of the feral humans just reach out and start grabbing you and like holding you against the cage.
One of
wall.
those humans?
Many of them.
Oh shit.
They're all in this cage, and they're sort of grabbing at you and lashing out. There's one kind of close to your ear, going like.
Oh, okay. Is that the end of my action, or can I do
you're
something?
done.
Oh fuck.
You don't even yell help?
No, I'm just like, I deserve this.
All right. And it is their turn, and they successfully grapple you and hold you against the cage. Your face is sort of pressed up against the cage, and their faces are there like chomping around you and like.
Wait, hold on. Arachnum doesn't even taste good. It tastes like a rock. Haven't you heard that? Why you? Come on, back off.
Okay.
It's not working. It's
After about another maybe 4 or 5 seconds pass, everything goes silent as you hear the loud thud of the last orc falling to the ground in the fog, and then everything else is just quiet.
We still have initiatives.
You're still in
But
initiative.
I'm still being like held kind of by these.
Yep, you're grappled.
Okay, well, it looks like the fight's over, so if you just want to let loose of me, that would be good.
You feel the grips just tighten.
Oh god, okay. I'm too small to even chase that well. Like, I'm probably really gamey. There's other people. I'm with other people here. Why don't you go for them?
It's your turn.
So yeah, the fog cloud. Still
Yep.
terrible fog cloud.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to climb a tree.
Okay.
Because climbing is one of the things I do.
Yep, and that was super easy. Easiest tree you've ever climbed. It
Okay.
was the same one that he tried to climb. Actually.
Well, they are bigger than I am.
I am a pirate.
Yeah.
That's true.
But you just scamper right up it.
Alright, and I'm going to cast True Strike on myself.
Okay. Alright.
I yell, Elkin! Disperse this fog cloud!
Do I hear him?
Aren't they right next to each other?
No, they're across the clearing from each other.
They're literally the exact place where they were before.
Yeah, we switched places. I guess.
Oh, Woodland, I hear you, but I did disperse it for a minute, but then I decided, honestly, you don't want to see what's out there. I brought the fog back. But if you can follow my voice, I am definitely being eaten alive right now.
At the sound of that, I run after
Okay.
his voice.
Actually, as you are grabbed by these, the fog does start to disperse, as it is a concentration spell. Yeah. And as you're running through the fog, it starts to completely disperse. You see Elkin across the way near the cage is held against them, and around you is just gore and blood covering the ground.
I love it.
And then, but as the fog does disperse, these once very feral-looking humans stand at creepy levels of calmness, just staring at you as if they had been before the fog lifted, at a few in each of you.
Do
And
they
that's
see
where
me too?
They see you. Yeah. Yes.
I'm in the forest.
They do see you.
But
You even feel them staring at you from the tree, or in the tree.
am I still being held though?
Yep, you're still being held. They're not as violent as they were. Now they're just sort of holding you, and you see one is like locking eyes with you. And that's where we're gonna end it.
Okay, this is making me really nervous.
Do I feel their eyes on me?
Okay, but that's where we're gonna end this session.
I mean, I would have.
Actually, no, you're still in.
Hold on.
Hey guys, do you have my pizza?
Oh, I've got my thing. direct violation of my
I
morals.
yell at you and no.
Falcon, are you okay? I still don't appreciate you using